Well, Connor, I'm still gasping, and I know you are still not fully recovered from Sunday afternoon. I wanted to give each of us a chance to kind of decompress, debrief after a, the wildest Sunday afternoon sporting event that I've ever witnessed. I'm sure it's the same for you. Do you mind if I take the podium here just to let loose on some of the thoughts I've had? Because I've had a hard time to decompress. It's been 2 days. Is that normal?
I hope so because that's where I'm at. I woke up I think in the middle of the night and had tears in my eyes. Still, I mean
Yeah.
it's surreal for me. Yeah, you absolutely can start. And I have to give you a huge bit of credit. You sent me a little note earlier today. Not only was it touching, but it was so well written that like as I sat down to like think about what to write, I was like, I don't know if I can outdo what Bo sent. It was like
I'm going to paraphrase off of that same note because sometimes I struggle to get the words out off the cuff. Like we witnessed that historic event on Sunday with Rory winning the Masters, and I was trying to tell my wife, trying to tell my daughter how important it was, how amazing it was for me, somebody who's lived a life of immersion. I've immersed myself in everything that I'm passionate about my entire life. I've immersed myself in foreign languages, into food, into sports, and now into the world of golf. And so I have a very different perspective on what this means than my wife and daughter, who honestly don't have a lot of interest in sports in general, or in, especially in professional golf. So, how would one convey this Masters Sunday to the person not versed on its significance? Why did it matter so much to me? Why was I gasping for breath and the words to speak after I witnessed that? This challenge was posed to me that evening. I was trying to tell them, and they were just like, they were trying, like they gave the effort to listen to me, but at the end of it was like, cool, moving on. And for me, I was like, I'm not ready to move on. So I was alarming them with my exasperation. So I sat down and I jotted down this to compartmentalize one of the most captivating moments in sporting history: euphoria. It's the human experience of elation and levity, often stemming from an achievement or positive circumstance. It's like when that final puzzle piece kind of locks in and completes the image. It's what you pictured, it's what you prepared for, it's what you organized, and it finally locks in. It's like spending a week climbing Kilimanjaro and reaching the summit. It's the what ifs, they dissolve into the then whats. An only child from working class Northern Ireland back in the early 90s and late 80s when Rory was growing up, they didn't have a lot. They had golf and they had work. And Rory showed an interest, and his parents, knowing that their only child had a shot to get out of Holywood, Northern Ireland, they did it. They worked 100 hours a week. They took odd jobs so that Rory could do what he did on Sunday. The losses at Augusta National took dominion over Rory's marvelous triumphs throughout his whole career. His whole golfing life has been win after triumph after triumph, but it's still the losses, the collapses at Augusta National weighed heavier on him than what his wins lifted him, because he hadn't put that final piece into the complete the image yet. That ended on Sunday. The most decorated European golfer in history was insatiable in his pursuit of that ultimate prize. His entire career was reduced, concentrated, boiled down into one saunter through the Georgia pines on Sunday. He set the course ablaze, and then he was doused a few times. Yeah, Thursday, he was rolling hot, 4 under par, double bogey on 15, double bogey on 17. What's wrong with Rory? He just can't do it. He just can't do it. Friday, 66. Saturday, 66. 2-shot lead going to Sunday. Showdown with the fan favorite from NorCal. Shout out, Bryson DeChambeau. Who's going to do it? Is it Bryson going to do it again to him like Pinehurst? Or is the kid from Northern Ireland going to finally do it? Is he finally going to get that green jacket? His torments were confronted and ultimately defeated. It was an exorcism. We saw that exorcism when that 3-footer dropped on the first playoff hole of sudden death. The raw humanity of the moment was what touched us. It wasn't the win. It wasn't what Rory did. It was what Rory experienced that we related to, because empathy, what we felt, what he felt, we felt it too, because the power of empathy is limitless. If we can watch TV and feel what he's feeling to get his demons vanquished, letting out a guttural, teary exhale into his best friend, who happens to be his caddy, his lifelong friend, gets to hug him and console him and be there as his crying shoulder, literally happy tears. Our challenges, our demons, our torments can do the same exact thing as what happened with Rory on Sunday. The lesson is simple. Find your passion. Work for that passion passionately. And finally, never fucking quit. Rory McIlroy could have quit 3 separate times just on Sunday alone. First hole, double bogey. Fuck it. His lead is gone. Then you got 2 more 2-shot swings. He's got a 3-shot lead again. All is well. Making the turn, 3-shot lead. Gets to 15. Gets to 13, really. 13. 3 wood off the tee. What are you doing, Rory? What are you doing? You get the best driver of the golf ball that's ever walked this planet. Laying up short of Rays Creek on 13. What are you doing, Rory? You're the best driver and a long iron approach player on this planet. Why are you laying up on a reachable par 5? Spraying a 84-yard wedge shot and missing his mark by 30 yards and double bogeying 13, which is a birdie hole at worst. Lead gone. Justin Rose back in it. The whole world back in it. Ludwig Oberg's back in it. Scotty Scheffler still right there.
Patty Reed.
Now what do? Now what, Rory? All those demons right up to the forefront. Gets to 15, 7-iron, 200 yards. He's got 200-foot pines in front of his face. He's got to hit a 20-yard hook over water and land on a green that's sloping right back in his face. Back pin placement, 5 feet. One of the best shots ever made, ever. The history of the sport. Birdie on 17. Gets to 18. Another demon. You knew there was going to be another one. 1-shot lead. All you need is a damn par. Well, it happens to be the 18th hole at Augusta National. One of the toughest holes in golf. You got to climb that hill. You got the whole world watching you. They know exactly what happened last year at Pinehurst. 18th hole, 4-footer to win. Nothing. And this time, he hits a perfect drive. I'm thinking, oh, he's got it. This is good. Gap wedge, 124 yards. All he has to do is put it behind the pin and roll it back a couple feet. 2-putt par, get out of here, get your green jacket. Another bad wedge shot. We talked about Rory's wedge play as being a positive, his growth area this year. Not on Sunday. The pressure cracked those little seals that he had in his game this season, and he made bogey. Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy. Sudden death playoff. And that's when Rory could have quit for the final time. Said, hey, 17th time at Augusta National. I've come so close all these times. Maybe it's just not my day. Maybe it's just not my tournament. Maybe I'm Greg Norman. You never know. Greg Norman won lots of majors, but we're talking the same territory. Not Rory. Rory never fucking quits. That dude, he went all the way back to Northern Ireland. He thought about the people in his clubhouse at Holywood Golf Club. He thought about his mom and dad, how hard they worked, what they put forth to get him to that moment next to his best friend. Stick it close, tap it in, get your green jacket, Roars. That moment inspired me to chase that weightlessness, that feeling of weightlessness more ardently going forward. Connor, is there anything left to cover from the Masters? I want to give you the platform because this is your favorite golfer. This is one of your favorite athletes in the world, and I know you've lived your life in immersion, especially with golf. So, tell me what it means to watch what we just watched.
I mean, first off, well said. A lot of well saids going in the chat. Um, I'm with Royal. I saw that comment. It was crazy. Ken Griffey Jr. took those pictures. I mean, that's nuts. What a crazy,
Some
like,
people have all the talent.
right. Everything you said about the event itself, everything you said about like the bigger picture of golf and the perseverance required, all those things came rushing forward for me. And then, like, I think for me, Rory's been my favorite golfer as long as I can remember. And I couldn't tell you what made me gravitate towards him. Maybe it's because he's Irish. Maybe it's because he was like a goofy, awkward guy on tour. It's something different to look at. I don't know what it was, but I was always like captivated by Rory's swing. Like I always just thought it was like the most like compact, artful, powerful swing. And so I always gravitated towards Rory over the years. And there's been so many ups and downs with him. I mean, he's been the bad guy, he's been the good guy, he's been not popular, he's done some things in his personal life that are really questionable, but I think those things have always humanized Rory for me. And seeing Rory vulnerable over the years, like not being able to get this done and struggling through it, I think his passion, his perseverance, and the way he celebrates the game every time he goes out, regardless of where he's at in life, have always been like those things that you're just hoping he gets there. You're hoping he gets there, and finally seeing him do it. I think for anybody who loves the game, anybody who loves Rory, in particular, I mean, it was just overwhelming. I mean, everybody I know had tears in their eyes. I mean, it was just one of those moments, and not just golf, but in sports that just kind of transcends the sport itself. It's like a really human moment, and I thought
Yeah.
that this was one of those things that'll live on forever. So, there were a lot of things about it that got me emotional. Seeing him walk off the 18th, seeing him embrace his wife and his kid. I thought just those moments that you got to imagine, like what it was like for Rory going through it. Yeah, there I'm
That
crying.
was you.
Yep,
Yeah.
there I
That
am.
was that was the picture you sent me approximately 15 minutes after he had won, because I'm pretty sure you weren't coherent enough to take a selfie in the moment. But yeah, it's all over your face. The happiness, the tears, the everything is like this was like the pinnacle of your sporting life, like as a fan of any golfer. Like I'm a golfing fan. I'm not the biggest Rory fan because that's you. I root for Rory. Like I didn't bet on him to win, but I found myself rooting for him because that was like I wanted that to happen for him because I know the backstory of what he's been through. I watched 2011. I watched 2022. It was all of these times where he's been right there. And in 2011, it was his fault. He collapsed. He choked. 2022, he just got beat. Scotty Scheffler was just better.
By
And
10 strokes.
yeah, and this year something was different. There's the first Masters champion with more than two double bogeys through the week. He had four, including
Well,
two on Sunday that should have sank him.
it was like I said for weeks leading into this, so too. This was the most collected, confident, controlled Rory that I think I maybe have ever seen.
You nailed it.
And I think he came in and he executed all those things. And so I think the culmination, for me of years of taking playful abuse, but taking abuse over my blind faith in Rory. I don't think a lot of people can say a whole lot of things about Rory anymore. There's no more asterisks next to Rory's name, and
His
and I think
question to the media was perfect. Yeah. What did he tell the media before they got to ask any questions?
I think I was crying at the time. Fill me in.
His first, before he took any questions at the podium, he turned to the media that was sitting there waiting for him to address their questions, and he just said, "Now what are we going to talk about next year?"
Oh yeah. I didn't know what you were getting at, but yeah, 100%.
Chef's kiss, right? Like every year we're talking about, is it Rory's year? Is Rory cursed? Is he snake bitten? And now it's like, now what are you going to talk about next year? Like how bad Irish food's going to be at the champions dinner? I guess they're going to have to.
I've had Irish food; it ain't great. But
Yeah.
I think the last thing I wanted to just say is, he did something that only six other players have done. And I think that in a lot of ways got lost on people that don't follow golf. I don't think people understand how impossible a feat this is. And I think if Rory walked away from the game today, I don't think anybody could forget like how incredible our time spent with Rory has been, like through all the ups and downs and everything that he just culminated in this win. So yeah, I mean, locks just say Rory back-to-back Grand Slam. I absolutely think it's possible. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got the monkey off his back now.
Yep, we're going to hit the drop for News Niblick and kind of go over more of the peripheral around this win at the Masters. And here's News Niblick. So I know we kind of glossed over this. We went on our own tangents here, but we do have to cover the news in golf. And guess what? Rory's the news in golf.
But at least we can like kind of like I can try and get some of the tears out of my eyes.
Right? Yeah.
Relive this again.
So first headline: Bless Hollywood, amen. Talk about Sunday at Amen Corner, 11th hole, probably the luckiest break of the tournament. That was the turning point where I thought it was over. Like most of the people were the fat lady. We thought we heard the fat lady sing, and apparently she was just warming up. At 11, Rory tried to hook it out of the right trees and overhooked it, overcooked it, and by the grace of Hollywood, Northern Ireland itself, the ball stayed dry by maybe a couple inches. And then Bryson DeChambeau from the fairway overhooked his approach a la Colin Morikawa and Ludwig Oberg last year and dunked it on 11 to take himself out of contention. I thought it was over there. Connor did that, although it didn't end the Masters like we thought it did. What did you feel like? Was that an omen for you on 11?
I thought we were going to be at least a little more cruise control from that point in.
For sure. He did still make bogey from that spot. He couldn't get up and down. 11 is the most difficult golf, the hole on that course. It's killed many people's chances. It was a turning point where we thought Rory was in cruise control. And then until he got to 13, which of course that was one of the worst wedge shots I've seen a pro golfer ever hit. And of course it's Rory on a very clear birdie hole where instead of taking that left bank and rolling it closer to the hole, he completely blocked an 80-yard wedge shot into Rays Creek. Bonehead decision to even keep that play possible. Like if I'm missing there, I'm bailing out so far to the left that it's not even funny because it's easier to putt straight down that hill than it is to take a drop in a penalty stroke.
No, I agree. I still scratching my head on that shot, but
yeah, I think I asked you, how's your blood pressure when you hit that wedge shot into the creek? What do you think?
The fact that I'm like severely out of shape, overweight, and old, I'm surprised I didn't have any kind of a cardiac scenario
event. I knew you were hurting bad because we were talking about like we were still reeling from Bryson dunking on 11 because 12 was kind of a neutral. Bryson bogeyed 12 as well when he couldn't get up and down of the bunker. Rory was cruising and he was even though he laid up, which I didn't agree with, you didn't agree with. It was still not a very difficult shot, and he blew it. And then we were like, oh shit, he's now went from a 3-4 shot lead to tied for the lead with Rose, who very nearly snuck his way into Butler Cabin himself with a final round 66. How about Justin Rose? He liked my comments, so I'm a big fan still. But Justin Rose, one of the most gracious runners up that I've ever seen. Like this guy's that was his 20th Masters without a green jacket. And we're not talking about, can Justin Rose get it done? Like we know Justin Rose can get it done, but just his humility in defeat was admirable.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with Justin Rose or anything like that. I wouldn't call myself a fan of Justin Rose or anything, but I thought the way he handled himself, I I think he would have been as respectful in victory as he was in defeat. I think that's the type of player and type of steward of the game that Justin Rose is. You know, from a drama standpoint, I mean, if you want to talk about kind of the negative side of stuff, I thought some of the social media portrayment of what went on with Bryson and Rory in the final round, I guess that would be a downside. But like, I think getting back to the golf itself, like I wasn't in panic mode yet because I knew we had a couple of good looks coming up. I think, I think the 7-iron shot prior to that, I was not doing so great because like
No.
in my head that was an eagle. I mean, to me, I was like, he's going to get that eagle. We're going to take care of that, take care of business. I thought he got it. That's hands down one of the best golf shots I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that's got to be up in the top 5. And then
he didn't make the eagle putt though from 5 feet. So even though he hit a miraculous shot and gave himself an eagle opportunity to push his lead out farther, he didn't even make that putt. And then you get to 16 and he hits it to 7 feet, and it's just another good look. And then 17, he hits I think almost even better approach shot, even though it's from the fairway. So the approach on 17 to 2 feet, that's what gave him the chance to, I just need a par on 18 and we're good. And then of course 18, he pipes it down the middle and blows that wedge shot. And
you knew it wasn't going to be without torture. It's Rory. I mean,
well, and then we get to the exhale, like the okay, we're made bogey, we're going to the playoff, and first playoff hole, we're like, at this point, we don't know what's going to happen. We know that Rose is playing out of his mind, as dialed in as he's ever been in his life, and they got Rory, who's just completely got stabbed in the gut on 18 with that 4-footer to win. And instead of folding like a chair, he watched Rose hit it to 18 feet behind the hole, and he hit a perfect approach shot. And the only thing that could have been better is if he had actually holed out that eagle in the first playoff hole, because it was damn close. When he spun it back off that bank, I was like, that's got a chance to go in. And it very nearly did. I was yelling so loud on my screen for that to go in, for him to win on a hole out eagle in sudden death. But to know that the putt downhill for Rose was going to be very low likelihood of making it, I was like, okay, this is finally the chance where we can, because every breath in was a gasp. Every breath out was a, and that was all day Sunday. We were just hyperventilating basically the whole time. And that's why I'm still freaking exhausted. I didn't even drink on Sunday, and I'm still hung over from that swing that we had.
I drank enough for the both of us, trust me.
But it's all just like in Ireland, they say it's good crack. It's totally grand.
I was standing at attention. I was ready to yell and scream and cheer. And what was crazy is that putt dropped, and I was just, I think, so overwhelmed and like so relieved that it finally happened. Like no noise came out. You know, it was just.
Well, it was Ken Griffey Jr. captured you collapsing on the ground.
Yeah, well, I was close. If I didn't have the baby in my hands, I might have been collapsed. Trust me.
All right, are we decompressed enough to move on to the Heritage?
Yeah, I mean, which is going to pale in comparison, but yes.
And obviously I lost it again when he hugged Shane Lowry, who obviously shot 81 on Sunday. He was in contention still. Shot 81 to fall out of contention on Sunday. Still hung around. He wasn't going to miss his best friend growing up, like in junior circuits, all the way up to the PGA Tour. His Zurich Classic partner in New Orleans next week. That was a great moment for him. Like just seeing those two guys like finally break through. Like this, like you said, the seal has been broken, and we got Oakmont for the U.S. Open. Very next major is the PGA Championship. But if you look at Wikipedia, I'm pretty sure they haven't changed it back to the owner of Quail Hollow is Rory McIlroy. Oakmont has the biggest driving advantage on tour. If you're a long straight hitter at Oakmont, you have a humongous advantage. I wonder who the longest straightest driver of all time is. It's Rory McIlroy.
I think
And if we couldn't get any more correlated to a season Grand Slam for the first time since Bobby Jones, it would be the fact that the Open Championship is at Royal Portrush, which happens to be in the tiny little country of Northern Ireland. This is just storybook stuff, right? This is it's got to be rigged at this point, right?
Seriously,
it could be rigged, and I wouldn't give a shit because I want to
No.
see it. I want to see it.
Honest to God, I mean, it's not just me being a fanboy and being over the moon right now with Rory. He may very well have the best shot at doing this of maybe anybody for the rest of our lives. Like this could not set up any better for him.
This is like Tiger 2000, except it's just set up for him to do it.
He got the hard one out of the way, man.
He got what we thought was the impossible one out of the way.
Oh God, this season could be something.
Yeah, I think we're in the midst of something really special, and I'm fine just smiling all the way through it. Let it be the way it's going to be.